Hello, family. Always get distracted by my hair. So, hi. We're doing a live tonight. I am just going to share this. And then, what, Barbara? What's up? We're doing a live tonight. We're going to start chatting on lives more. And I'm just sharing this on my other page. Hi, Maureen. Hi, everybody. I will be right there sharing this. You can share this also. So I'm going to start doing lives so that we can talk about more important topics for our profession. And also in a positive manner. Because sometimes, people talk about topics. What's up, Catherine? Happy to see you here. But sometimes our profession talks about topics in a non-positive way. Hello, Raul. Thanks for saying hi, everybody. So I'm going to work on promoting more positive conversation for our profession. And in order to help our profession. Hi, Barbara. Oh, yeah, my toe and my finger. Well, I have a big Band-Aid on my finger, and my toe feels a little bit better, but it's really purple. So I don't think I broke it, though, because I can move it a bit. So thanks for asking. I had an accident-filled day, guys. So it's funny that I'm talking about energy clearing, because a girlfriend had mentioned that whose energy had I picked up, because I'm usually not so accident-prone. So anyway, let me just share this on one more page, and then I'll start talking to you guys. Let's see. So, here we go. Okay. So, good morning, good night, wherever you guys are. Good evening. It is evening time here. I am in London right now. And I have some notes here, what I want to talk about. So let's start talking about some interesting topics in our profession that nobody really is talking about. And this one particular today is so important. And I was never talked about it in school, and I haven't heard really anybody talking about it after school. But through my own personal experience, I learned the importance of this topic. And what I want to do with these lives too is I want you to chat with me and share your experiences or questions or whatever, because I'm on live so that we can talk to each other. Of course, you know me, I can always babble away forever. So if nobody talks to me, that's fine. But I would prefer you talk to me. But I always have plenty to share with you. But I really want to get this as like a interactive conversation. So I love that you're saying hi to somebody on there. So as an acupuncturist, I always talk about, we want to walk our talk. It's really important for us to take care of our health, our mental health, our physical health, so that we are really great examples for our patients. And one of the self-care habits that is absolutely vital for an acupuncturist, but that nobody's really talking about, is energy clearing. And when I say energy clearing, what I mean is having regular and ritualistic habits to clear the energy of your patients out of your energetic field and out of your body on a regular basis. So this is so important. This is actually really important for anyone that does any type of work with patients at all. Even Western doctors should be doing this. But anyway, we're just going to stick with acupuncturists right now. So I have a theory about this, and pretty much almost every single acupuncturist gets out of acupuncture school and they are just fried. They're super exhausted and drained and burnt out. And my theory is that, this is the first time in someone's life that they start to work on patients and really start to experience that energetic exchange without really knowing what's happening, without having any tools taught to them on how they should be caring for themselves, how they should be clearing out this energy, how they should be aware of not taking everything in and letting it stagnate in you. And so when an acupuncturist, brand new, starts to work on patients and starts to for the first time have this energetic exchange in their life without having any tools to release it, of course they're going to get out of school completely exhausted. You know, they're overloaded with other people's energy, really in a very unaware way. And so I feel like, honestly, this is something that is happening with our profession, and it's holding us back, because that is part of the struggle when acupuncturists get out of school and start to build their practices, that they are starting from such a burnt out and heavy stagnant place, where really with just some awareness and some energy clearing and energy care, you actually might get out of school feeling quite a bit different. So most practitioners just don't realize that they pick this up from their patients, and you go around picking up more and more and more of this until you get sick, until you feel burnt out, until you feel really exhausted, until you feel anxious. And oftentimes what happens, what's up, Amanda? Oftentimes what happens is that, I figured you were saying hi. Oftentimes what happens is that these feelings of exhaustion and burnout and anxiousness get actually misplaced onto being an acupuncturist. And you start to associate these negative feelings with the profession, questioning whether you really enjoy being an acupuncturist anymore, rather than understanding that this is actually just stemming from your patient's energies clogging up your system. I love all the party in the comments. Keep connecting. Yes. Hi, Bina. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, everybody. Thanks for hopping on. So I'm, if you just hopped on, I really want to start to promote some positive conversations within our profession about some topics. So please, talk to me about any comments that you have on what I'm talking about, or your experiences with this. So it was 4 years into when I was in practice that I first understood and learned about the importance of releasing my patients' energies. And, I learned in a really accelerated manner in a extreme situation, which I'll tell you about. But then I took that back to my acupuncture practice, and I applied it to just my everyday practice. So I think my roommate might be home. Which is fine. Yeah, she's here. This is live. So Barbara, don't say that. My intention is to go through school with the least amount of stress and get out being in a better place than when I was there. Yeah, but it's okay, Barbara, because once you're aware of this happening and you have tools to release on a regular basis, you're fine. It's just that a lot of practitioners don't realize that that is a daily part of their self-care that needs to be happening, and so like me, it built up. And like a lot of acupuncturists, and then you get to this point where you are full to the brim, you are exhausted, you are burnt out feeling, and that's when it starts to cause trouble. But when you're aware of this, which is why I want to talk about this and why we need more awareness of this in our profession, then you don't get to that clogged up place, and you can just regularly release patients' energies from you, because we can pick up energies walking down the street. And especially as us as acupuncturists, we work to become more and more in tune with our patients, and that creates a higher susceptibility to picking up on people's energy, because you just become really in tune and open to it. So that's why it's mega important for us to be aware of the necessity of this self-care habit. So for me, what happened is that in my 4th year in practice, which was my 2nd year of having a really full practice, Raul, how to rebalance our energy, act to you. I don't know what ACC means, but so in my fourth year in practice, which was the second year of it being really busy in my practice, I started to notice that I didn't really want to socialize as much anymore. And at the end of the day of like a full day of treating patients, or at the end of the week, a full week, my friends would ask me to hang out, and I just found that I just didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to isolate and go home, and I just felt like I couldn't deal with anyone else's energy. Yes, Barbara, absolutely, you should share stuff like this with your classmates. Because, Barbara, everybody has been a chiropractor for 20 years, and she's going back to school to become an acupuncturist. So, Barbara, you have, a lot of experience with this. Because it's the exact same thing with chiropractors. Here comes my roommate. Hello. I'm talking live online. Lots is happening. So I noticed that I was starting to become more isolated, and I just felt like I didn't want to deal with anybody else's energies. Yeah, and this is when Qigong classes are key during school. So we actually did have that. That's a really good point. And it wasn't really talked about why we were taking those classes and what was the importance of taking that class. So I think that for me, I didn't make the connection, and I honestly didn't really like the Qigong classes. You guys can hear me okay, right? Just let me know, because my roommate's talking too. But yeah, so I really didn't like the Qigong classes. I think I didn't take it, seriously. I just didn't enjoy it. But yes, I agree that is such an important part, and I don't think very many schools have that. So the fourth year in, it was 2015, and if you remember, this was, okay, thanks Amanda, this was the year that Nepal had their huge earthquake, and it was 10,000 people died, and I felt really called to go to the country to help out. They were extracurricular. Yeah, so at Yosan, Catherine, they are required, which is actually one of the reasons I went to the school. So it was funny that I didn't really enjoy it, but it was required to do it of all the students. So now that I'm on this end, I think that it's really important for students to do it too. I think it's really needs to be more stressed. And that's actually another topic I want to talk about, but not tonight, but how I feel like we need to modernize our acupuncture schools. So I decided I chose to go to Nepal. That's awesome. I chose to go to Nepal and help out. I met some other acupuncturists there. I met some other doctors there. I got connected with everybody through Acupuncturists Without Borders. And we went around for 3 weeks and set up trauma relief acupuncture clinics and gave hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of treatments, mainly for post-traumatic stress disorder. So, it was just an absolutely life-changing and incredible experience. And it just opened up depths to my compassion and gratitude, that I just had never felt before. But I did the calculations, and in about 3 weeks' time, I gave as many treatments as I usually do in about a year's time. So the energy there in Nepal, because it's such a spiritual place, also, I don't know how else to describe it other than it was really thick, and it was just so intense what was happening there. I love you, Catherine. Thank you. And so when I left there, I felt really incredible, but I felt full to the brim of all different kinds of emotions. Happiness, sadness, anxiety, fear, everything. Full to the brim. And I stayed this way for a few months when I got back to the States. And I remember I was feeling a bit on edge. I was feeling really sensitive, and I was still isolating. So it just so happened that before I went to Nepal, I had actually signed up for my first 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat soon after coming back from Nepal. Nothing is a coincidence in life, you guys. Everything synchronistically happens. So I wound up going to this retreat. And for those of you that don't know, it's 10 days of silent meditation. You meditate 10 hours a day. It is an unbelievable experience and absolutely life-changing. And it was during that retreat with all that meditation that I finally released and cleared all of that energy that I had stored in my body from 5 years of treating patients and from the 3 weeks in Nepal of treating, thousands of people in such a short amount of time. And so when I left that retreat, I actually felt like myself again. And I didn't realize how much I hadn't been feeling like myself until I felt like myself again. And it was then that I began to understand how much we take on from our patients. Because what happened was that after I had that full energetic clearing from the meditation, I started to just feel normal and happy and light again, and I was hanging out with friends and stuff. But a few months after that, I began to start to feel and recognize the feelings of feeling full of all these other people's energies again. And I started to put the pieces together, and I started to realize that a lot of these emotions that I was feeling are not mine, and they're the ones that we pick up from our patients. And so that's when I started to really realize, whoa, we need some energy clearing exercises to do on a regular basis so that we don't get jammed up and stagnated with all of our patients' energies. And so these days, it's really easy for me to clear energy. I instantly recognize when it's not my energy. I clear it on the spot. So I actually very rarely have a buildup of energy. I can feel that I'm picking stuff up when I walk through a crowd these days, and I just know to release it. So, if you've never really thought about this before or done any of this and you've been in practice a while, I highly recommend to do something where you're going to experience a full energetic clearing. Meditation retreats are awesome for that. But also, meditation can be through what we talked about. It can be Tai Chi or Qigong. It can be breath work. It can be anything like that. I personally would recommend not doing it through someone else doing work on you, but actually through you doing the work to clear your own energy. Because for one, you need to learn how to do that on yourself in an effective manner in order to be able to do it on the spot. And then for two, I find that it's just much more effective when you do it yourself. And it really gets to much, much deeper levels. So as an acupuncturist, it's vital to have, as part of your self-care routine, your own practice of regularly clearing out your patients' energies before they get backed up and you start to feel isolated and you start to feel burnt out. All kinds of energy comes into our office, from sick energy to toxic energy to negative energy, scarcity energy, fearful energy, and you're bound to take some of that on from your patients. And that is okay. It's normal. But you want to have some type of a ritual habit, something to clear that out. So one of those practices can definitely be meditation. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important to meditate as an acupuncturist, is to powerfully clear out other people's energies from your system. Another way that I've used to clear out energy is just by stepping outside. And when I was in practice, I would do it throughout the day, depending upon the intensity of my patients, or I would just do it at the end of the day. And I would step outside and just visualize everybody's energy flowing off of me into the sky and just say, this energy is not mine, this energy is not mine, until I really felt a clearing. So really it can be, anything. Some people use sage, some people burn candles, any type of ritualistic and conscious thing to clear your system, to clear your energy from these things that we're constantly picking up. And we are absolutely picking up a lot of it from our patients because they're releasing, and we're there to help them release. So does anyone have any rituals that they use right now that they want to talk about or share with everybody for clearing their energy? Has anybody experienced this in their practice? Has anybody ever thought about this before? And share this around and spread the word. And, teachers, talk about this at acupuncture school. Talk about this when you're interning. Practice when you're interning. It's so, so, so important to do this for your self-care on a regular basis as an acupuncturist, or you're going to find yourself feeling burnt out, and resentful. And this is a lot of the confusion that I see in acupuncturists when they project this onto the profession and onto being an acupuncturist, and not understanding that it's got nothing to do with that. It actually just has to do with the backup of your patient's energies causing that stagnant and burnt out feeling. So thank you, Rahul. Okay, so that's my message for you guys today. So please share this video and, follow up in the comments and share your experiences or anything that you use to clear energy that really helps you in your practice. And yay, Robin said something so useful and thoughtful. Oh, good. Just starting school. And you've worked 15 plus years in mental health. Oh, yes, Robin. Damn, girl. So you know what I'm talking about. I can't imagine that you have gone through some feelings of burnout. And I would recommend, search for something where you can do a full energy clearing. Just to really deeply clear it out from your system before you start to just pile more on, and then have a regular practice to really help to release and let go of all those toxic energies that are coming at you. And, it's not always toxic, but a lot of times, mental health, of course, can be very, that I'm sure is very sticky in your system. But then with our patients too, just a lot of times people are coming to us with things that, are negative and uncomfortable for them because we are holding the space to release that stuff. So a lot of times it is energy that you don't want to store in your system, So, okay, guys, thanks for joining. And yeah, it can be Robin for sure. So let's get the conversation starting. Like I said, I'm going to talk about the modernization of acupuncture schools. I really want to get everybody talking about that. And I want to get that just, out in the quantum field. And let's talk about actually how do we mainstream Eastern medicine. I want you guys to start thinking about that and start to send me your ideas. And let's just get that out into the quantum field also. And then I wanted to talk again about, I'll be talking about negative teachers and professors in school because that topic keeps coming up and we have a challenge with that in our profession, probably in all professions, but we're just going to stick with talking about ours. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.